Also time where we read some viewer mails. Also time for me, who has grown tired of this segment, to reinvent it a bit.
Wait. Has grown tired of the segment? Wow.
No.
Wow, bro. Shots fired.
I have not grown tired of the segment.
God.
I have not grown tired of the segment. I have grown
The fact that you're the leader of the show.
Wow.
I have grown
There will be
tired.
no bug list next week.
Wow.
I have grown tired of my part of the appetizer of the segment. Okay?
Is that why you didn't even put an address on that letter?
100%. I'm mailing this thing in.
Literally.
I'm trying to get rid of Cowboy Bro. I'm trying to get rid of Ryan and Brian.
I mean,
we've been doing it for 3 years. You got to freshen it up.
He cut the bud list. He got rid of
and then just outright says, I don't like this segment.
I like the segment. The intro.
Is that what
That's
he
why I
said?
wasn't on the green screen the other day. I had to do it here. Grew tired of that. You gotta grow tired of stuff before the audience does.
Brew.
Like that.
I love
free game, they call that. A real letter from a real person. Not a real letter, but you get it. Dear Wilds, I regret to inform Brew that Jordan Love's last name does not begin with the sound low. He'll have to drop the nickname or go with J. La. I thought it was a valid YouTube comment.
No. It's J-Lo. Everybody loves J-Lo.
But that made sense. No one loves it, actually.
Yeah. No one does.
Because you get it, Brew, right? Because it's
Yeah,
Jennifer
I get
Lopez.
it. I get it. But J-Lo just fits. It just fits. J-La is not. It sounds like J-La.
I like
you're
J-Lo.
saying the name J-La.
Who was that again? Who was that again, Wilds?
Who wrote that letter?
I don't have. I just printed this out. So, Michael Busby, I'm being
Appreciate
told.
that,
Thank you, Michael.
Appreciate that.
Moving on. All right, number 3 on this week's Bud List, Joel Embiid. We going hoop. All right, and look, Joel Embiid, you are truly a great talent. You're an all-time great talent, which means you have all-time great potential. Of the true centers, I mean, I guess maybe you might say Jokic, but true centers, probably the best shooting big ever. Like true back to the basket. Cat can shoot. He's not quite as, I don't consider Cat a true center.
No, he's not even
Embiid is a phenomenal shooter. But Joel, your legacy, if you don't make some changes, your legacy is not going to be what it should be. All right, and here's some of the changes I want to make in the spirit of motivation. Number 1, your number 1 basketball goal must be to win an NBA championship. Now, I know you say that, but I don't think your actions show that. Case in point was the Olympics, and this is the one beef I've kind of had with you. You're coming off a year, you played 39 games. You're clearly laboring because of injury in the playoffs. And then you play in the Olympics, and now you couldn't start the season healthy. You played 4 games so far. And so I'm going to just break it to you. When it comes to NBA players, an Olympic gold medal, it's not a legacy mover, is it? Am I wrong on that? It's not, unless you don't have any other W's or anything. Nope. So make that your number 1 goal. You should have spent this offseason resting, rehabbing, and doing everything you could to be in the best shape for this season. Number 2, let's cut out I'm on Joel. I'm still on Joel.
Yeah.
Cut out the histrionics of pain. Y'all know what I'm talking about? It is aggravating watching Joel Embiid play. It looks like any moment he might just fall apart, literally. And I think, Joel, you're doing it to engender sympathy and make it look like you're just fighting through so much pain, and it lowers expectations when you're in the playoffs. But what it's really doing, you think is garnering sympathy from the crowd and making us think, lower our expectations. What it's really doing is giving your opponents, giving them confidence that you're not a warrior, that you're not coming with that killer instinct. And so, Joel, those are some of the things I want you. Last night, case in point, you played 35 minutes, but twice you left and went to the locker room with what we thought might be a knee injury, and you came back and you were fine, and you had 35 and 11. So stick through it. Anthony Davis has started to do that. Mm-hmm. I want to see you do it, Joel. I believe in your potential.
Was there not a number 1?
No, there's a number 1.
No, for real.
No, never just keep it. He was doing 1, 2, 3.
Maybe I missed.
You got it, bro. Keep
all
going.
Right, now Wilds is.
Yeah. Sorry.
Number 2, Jaden Daniels. You saw it already. But, all right, Jaden, you're having a great year. Still the leader for the Rookie of the Year, but Bo Nix is coming, all right? And you guys have come down, crashed down to earth. You lost your last two games. I get it. Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, two playoff-bound teams, it appears, so that's okay. But you just had one touchdown and one interception in the two games combined, 23 rush yards in the two games combined, about a 70 passer rating in those two games. So you need a big game, and you need a win. And also because you can belie the Cliff Kingsbury second half curse, all right? We've seen his teams fall apart in the second half everywhere. All right, Arizona 2021, they start 10-2, lose 5 of the next 6 games, including the playoff game, with Kyler Murray, who's become a very good quarterback. Texas Tech, he did it with Johnny Manziel and Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield, all these guys, second half collapses. You be the one to make sure that doesn't happen. Jaden, I do believe in you. And at number 1, John Harbaugh.
Wow. This hurts you.
It hurts me. Look, I believe in you, John. I like you as a coach. I like your character and the culture you've built there. But I'm just going to keep it real. Y'all blowing it. All right? The Chiefs, Nick said it about the Bills. The Chiefs' offense isn't quite what it used to be. This is a time when maybe they're vulnerable. And you have a Hall of Fame quarterback and a Hall of Fame running back in their primes. And you guys continue to beat yourselves. You're 7-4 largely because you're beating yourselves. Aren't you tired of hearing people say the only team that can beat the Ravens is the Ravens?
Yeah.
All right? Because if it's not penalties, you guys lead the league in penalties, a lot of them untimely, a lot of them unforced, then it is this strange offensive strategies. All right, and I get it. Sometimes the game goes a certain way and you can't give it to the running back as quite as much. I do get that somewhat, but I think you guys need to go in the games thinking Derrick Henry's going to get it 18 to 25 times. And at the very least, when you're on the goal line, have him be in the backfield, even if you don't give him the ball, even if he's just a decoy. Use Derrick Henry more. And I'll give you credit. You're trying with the defense. You made some changes in the starting defensive backfield lineup. You went out, got Trey White. You got Desmond King. I don't know what he'll do, but you're trying. All right? So, and he showed improvement last week. So, John, I believe in you. And I beg of you, make a difference. Get it
Excellent bud list as always.
Yeah,
Always
choppy, kind of choppy.
I screwed it up because I thought you were going to do the Joel Embiid thing. That's my fault.
you got your bank or Ravens playoff coach on there. I got one of your other playoff teams, Super Bowl teams.
Oh?
Jordan Love.
Oh, J-Lo?
J-Lo?
J-Lo. I'm adding Jordan Love
J-Lo.
to the bud
Everybody
list.
knows that.
Not loving it.
Not loving it. I
Not loving it. And this is why. I get it.
Greg is big. You
7
big
and
with the
3.
little bars.
You're 7-3, and everybody's kind of glossing over the idea that since the divisional round game against the 49ers last year, and those 2 interceptions, the last one being a pretty poor interception in a decision on your part, you've thrown an interception in every game you've played in, buddy. And we've been glossing over it because your team is continuing to have success. You're 7-3. You're still within striking distance of being able to catch Detroit. Will you be able to do it? We shall see. But the story of your season last year was in the first 8-9 weeks, you were a roller coaster, interception machine. But the last 8 weeks, you turned it around. This was what it looked like. When we show you your numbers, it was ridiculous amounts of interceptions on the first half. But then in the back end, it was much cleaner football. 18-1, this is comparison to this year. Look at the numbers. This is what you're doing. 70% completion percentage last year, 62%. But go down to the touchdown interception because that's the issue that I'm having with you, Jordan Love. Last week's game, you threw a bad interception. Wilds, you said this, and I'm running with it. You were probably the first quarterback to go full Levis this year after Levis showed us he was going to be full Levis because he is Levis. You were the first quarterback to do it. You can't keep doing that. If your team is going to be able to be what Brew believes that you can be, a Super Bowl contending team and a representative of the NFC, you have got to play cleaner football. I believe in you. I'm calling you out now because this week, guess who you have? You have the 49ers, the team that started your wheels to fall off. Yeah. Now you can reset, bolt those wheels back together and drive over those 49ers and play clean football.
That's good. I appreciate the motivation. J-Lo, not J-No!
Oh, thanks, bro.
You set me up for that.
Yeah, you did set him up really well. KW, it's 4:10 on a Thursday. What does that mean?
It's just time for the sports media ombudsman, whether you like it or not.
He's already tired of that.
I was going to say, that sounds like
no, he never liked it. But that's just fine because, can I be honest? Wiles just didn't like it because he didn't think of it, because he would have been.
The sports media
honestly, Wiles is more suited for this role than I am, but he's too worried about being friends and nice to people as opposed to hard truths. But the sports media ombudsman, bro, comes for everyone.
Who's this
even
about?
Folks who think, wait, I'm not media, I'm new media.
Uh-oh.
Draymond Green.
Oh.
Did you know, Greg, Draymond has a podcast?
I did know.
Did you know he has a secondary podcast that's on football entitled, aptly, Why is Draymond Green Talking About Football?
I thought that was
clever.
clever.
To which I said, everyone's question exactly. As evidenced by Draymond dipping his toe into the NFL hot take streets. We have a lot of mutual friends. I'm using the sports media ombudsman, one of my favorite things, to do one of my other favorite things. Recklessly gamble. Draymond, Maverick said he'll hold the money in escrow. Any amount you want, let's just make that bet right now. I'll take the Chiefs, sight unseen, first round they play in the playoffs. You can have the other side. You can pick the dollar amount. Also, I would like to thank Draymond for something. The bulletin board was getting awful dusty.
I was going to say.
Nobody had said a mumbling word for quite some time. But we got Draymond on there. Chiefs lose first playoff game. So, Draymond Green, you're on the bulletin board. And oh my goodness gracious. KW, you know what else I just realized? We have our first elimination of the year on the bulletin board. I didn't even realize it. Luckily, I have this right here. Jazz Chisholm, how'd that work out for you? Exactly right. Dodgers sent you home. Your season's over, Jazz. Talking trash about the Royals. Draymond, listen, Mav said he'll hold the money.
A no-limit bet with Draymond Green?
Yeah, when I'm going to have a team that'll be a touchdown favorite in the first playoff game they play at home in Arrowhead.
Draymond Green has a lot of money.
I understand. That's why you can always kind of, hedge it, get the plus on the other side. You can play both sides.
Okay.
But listen, Draymond's going to flip-flop. In about a month, Draymond's going to be like, well, actually, I've reviewed the all 22.
Okay. Right. All right, I'm adding social media to the Bud list, and before I do, I'd like to make a declaration. Really a rule of life. If you quit something, the people's response when you tell that you quit are one of two things. One, good for you, or two, why? And if it's a bad thing that you quit, people say, good for you. And if it's a good thing that you quit, like, hey, I stopped eating vegetables, they say, why? So LeBron quit social media. Good for you, LeBron. You know why? Because everyone knows it's horrible. So why did LeBron quit? So here's the backstory. Dalton Connect hit a ton of threes the other day. He was great. He fell in the draft. LeBron, when they drafted, I believe, said, you know what? Dalton Connect's good. I was grinding Tennessee Volunteers footage. And everyone's like, were you really? Well, I guess he was, and he's still upset that people doubted him. Take that. So then Rich Kleinman wrote a post about negativity in sports media that LeBron responded to and said, with that said, see you later, I'm taking off social media. Okay, so LeBron's quitting social media, to which I'm going to say, good for you. Everybody knows it's horrible. It's like quitting any other horrible thing, like cigarettes or...
I'll chill.
If you quit vaping, I wouldn't be like, why? That's good. That raspy cough that you have every once in a while, maybe it's good for your radio career. A little rougher on television. Final point. That's kind of mean-spirited. I'm not gonna...
Do it. You can say final.
Let's not pretend like it's not newsworthy. Oh, LeBron, you could have left social media and not told anyone. Everyone, when they quit something that is bad for them, tells people. That's part of it. Hey, you hear I quit drinking for 3 days? You have to, okay? It's part of the deal. I guarantee you, look in the mirror, if you've ever quit anything that's not great, I stopped staying up late. Oh, yeah, I don't care. But that's how it works, okay? LeBron's no different than anybody else. You quit something that's a little bit negative, you tell people. It is what it is. And it's also setting a good example.
Can I add a bonus to that? I don't think LeBron is angry about the Tennessee skepticism. I think he's angry about the social media stuff about Bronny. I think when he was like it's toxic and bad, I think it's less about people saying he's a liar about being the first to hear Migos and Tennessee Volunteers basketball, and more about, it's just struck me as that's more likely to drive him off. He saw stuff about his son, was like, I don't want to read this. That would be my guess.
I buy that too. Also, a good example for everybody else. Here's how I eat. Here's how I rest.
Remember,
here's how I train.
He cut it
also,
out in the playoffs years ago
30,
after the Dallas struggles. And
we're going to set a date on when he returns?
No.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.